He sent me a replay versus Orc.
Ready to work. Ready to done.
Let's have a look.
Ready for action. Ready to work.
It was the regular crip.
Forces are under attack. Job's done. Ready for action.
Okay, I would say against Orc, you're not particularly supposed to scout because it's almost always Farseer Headhunter, and also your opponent will be okay if it's Blades. But now that you went for the scout, you should have definitely checked here and seen that it's a Blade Master, because your strategy is going to be vastly different. Against Blades, I think a lot of people might not know that, but you're supposed to go Rifles. You're not supposed to double Sanctum, especially on Conceal Hill. This is probably like the #1 rifle map. So if you scout Blade here, you definitely need to tech. Okay. And then after 4 or 5 footmen, or like when you have the lumber. Yeah, against Blade, you don't need a scout tower either. And I recommend closing your base against Orc as well, because it's going to make your life easier. Like, I used not to do it, but nowadays I think it's better. Yeah, so you're getting the tower for nothing. You're not going for rifles. And I think your creep route is a little too conservative. I don't like doing this camp. It's just kind of garbage. You could have gone here. You could have started this. Yeah.
Our forces are under attack.
If you creep this and a Farseer doesn't show up on you immediately after, that's when you should scout, I think. You shouldn't scout in start, probably.
Job's done.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I have any replay against Blade, but I can have a look after real quick.
Ready for action.
So now you go for the blacksmith.
Job's done.
You need to heal up as soon as possible. Your priority when you reach... Oh, no, no, no. Don't kill the peasants. You need the peasants more than you need the footmen. So you overmade footmen. Against Blade Master, or like if you're going rifle, you should not make more than 5 footmen. So like here, you overmade footmen and then you kill the peasants, which you need more so than the footmen. You should have killed the footmen before you killed peasants, I think. And yeah, start Mountain King. Against Blade, you can play Mountain King.
Job's done.
I think I would advise making the shop on the outside, because yes, it gets sniped, but now if he goes Raiders and he attacks your main base and you have the Sanctum on the outside, losing the Sanctum is much worse than losing the Vault. So your SimCity is still very important.
Job's done.
Nobody goes 2 racks Headhunters, Jody, do they? And now you attack the shop. This attack is never going to achieve much here. You just have the wrong army as well. I recommend just creeping. When your Mountain King comes out, this is something that you should practice, right? So you went Footman, you got Archmage 3. You should try to time it so that when your Mountain King comes out, you're already in position here. And then he comes here and then you start the camp and you pull back the Archmage. That will mean that you start the game with level 2 on the Mountain King. And the beautiful thing about it is that you don't even need Dust, because you can use Revelation before you kill the Golem so that you can bolt the blades so it doesn't steal the item.
Job's done.
And now you need to produce Rifle Priest. You almost kill the blades, but not quite. That's very unfortunate. Oh, you got it. Yeah, I don't... Just run away after you got him here. Don't dive this hard. What the fuck? You got both heroes! But you lost everything doing it. It's much easier for him to just remake his hero and then start creeping it immediately. Oh my god, he made the blade first, lol. Don't tell me he doesn't instant revive here. This is outrageous. Yeah, this dive was unnecessary. You just should be creeping your heroes against this. I think... I'm not sure because I also have some trouble against Blade, but I think you're supposed to go +1, then +2 attack, and then break up keep. And then just go 60, 70 supply. With rifles. You shouldn't double Sanctum against Blade. If you had Farseer TC, then yes. If you was playing like standard with grunts, but against Headhunters, it's also very different. But against Blade, I would say just stay on 1 Rax, 1 Sanctum. Holy shit, he just sat there.
Flows of magic.
And yeah, you should pull back the Archmage here. The priority is really to get Mount Tanking level 3 with Clap level 2
Smell magic
against this.
in the air.
Flows of magic are whimsical.
Here, call Militia immediately when he does that. Oh, you're already at Peasants there. See, if you would have pulled back Archmage from both camps, I think you have MK3 here with Clap 2 and then you would make sweet love to that army. But yeah, now unfortunately... Wait, did you have... I think you have slow on off. Because you were not slowing here. This is very important to turn that on. Hit one more unit, that's nice. Yeah, send Militia. Not having 3 here is pretty tough. Yeah, you can pull this now. You force the speed scroll. I would have pulled this.
The flows of magic are whimsical today.
You went to the shop for TP. You see, like, you're running around not creeping right now, whereas he had the time to do this whole camp. So that's why you're gonna fall behind. But you could have pulled this easily and then just crept it here, for example. And then it's very hard for him to engage into you because he has to come in from the other side. And then you can just pull back and the creeps are gonna attack him. And then you turn and both of you are gonna fight this guy. The creeps and you. I think... So it looks like you have every unit in Control 1. This is one of the most important rules of playing human or any race really, is that your casters need to be in a separate group. So right now you should have Archmage, Mountain King, Breaker, and Rifle on 1. And you should have Sorceress and Priest on 2. Because your Sorceress and Priest, they're not meant to target fire a hero. They're meant to be on attack move so that they will slow automatically everything and the Priest will heal continuously. So this is very important. Don't have one group ever. Like, practice it. Even if at first it's really hard and you suck and you lose a lot of games. Once you get it right, it's going to be like much more beneficial. Yeah, you see your units are derping around too much. In the fights, it should just be attack move and then you adapt to what's in front. Like in this position, I will click on this raider. And then this one, then this one, then this one. And if you want to target specifically stuff, then I will press Control, left click the Sorceress, so it will take all my Sorceress, and I will shift them on the Grunts. Because they are the units that they do the most damage to. But that's only after I've slowed everything. Wait, what? Oh, you went Gyro? It's not necessary against Blades. You only go Gyro if he's going Wind Riders. Like, now that just wasn't necessary. Get in the habits. Like, when the fight starts here, throw the Stormbolt and then go home. Select this. You press the hotkey for Militia, and then you hold Shift and you do attack move here. And then you don't need to pay attention to it anymore. They will transform into Militia, they will run over here, and they will fucking pickaxe this army here. This is like a very important part of playing human as well. Yeah, this is very not ideal. Now you go for the blades. And now no escape. Ah, you transferred TP then died, yeah, that's... But I think you could have done it without all this. If like you correct all of the things I just mentioned, you don't need to do anything more, like anything fancy. I don't think anybody has played Blade against me recently, have they? I'm gonna go through my match history real quick. Fuck, I have so many 4v4s this season. I think... I can remember not that long ago playing against some Blades. Fuck, for this game. It was during season 8. There was a guy, okay, I remember playing like not that long ago against a Blade. I just need to find the game. should just put 1v1, it will be faster. Filter out these 4v4s. Wait. Season 8, yeah? Let's check the Conceal Hill. Nope. Pause here. Pause here. Oh, this guy might have. Wait, oh, this guy. Where was I? Fast, yeah. Check this guy. Ooh! Baby. Dude, I won against level 6-6? How the fuck? 24th September. Wait, I will refind it. So we can get the exact time so I can find it in my replays. 24th September at almost 4 AM. I don't even remember this. I might have lost. I don't know why it says I won. But I have so many replays, I double click, it takes like 5 minutes to open the folder. I need to delete some soon. My game is frozen. Oh, there we go. Wait, what? Wait, it starts with a month, right? So it should say 9/24. Look at how many replays I got. Jesus. I think that's the... Wait. Was it this map? That has to be it.
Ready to work. A player's forces are under attack.
I bought the priest because everybody goes Farseer Headhunter, of course. We're gonna focus on my vision.
Ready for action.
And then now, I didn't see a Farseer come yet, so I was like, wait a second, that's when you scout. And I see a blade with double claws. So my first thought was, oh, he went Blade Master. And my second thought was, I fucking hate RNG.
Ready for action.
So against Blades, one of the most important things, I mean, it's even more true because he has double claw, but sometimes he's gonna have double circlet as well. One of the most important things is retaining hit points on this guy. So you really want to run around, you want to get a feel for when he might be on top of you, and a very important rule is that you can't creep either. Like any camp that I start now is gonna fuck me up. So you kind of need to dance around, buy time until the Mountain King's there. Having an Archmage level 2 is not the end of the world. You don't need level 3 against this. Anyway, I'd rather save like this and this for Mountain King regardless. Where the fuck is my blacksmith? Wait, what? What am I doing? Did I go defend or something? There it is. Holy fuck. Oh yeah, okay, so I wouldn't advise doing this, but I kind of made him lose track of me, and then I saw that he was down there. So I took a risk now and I went for this. That was high risk, high rewards, let's say. He ended up scouting it eventually, I think. He bought a circlet. And then when tier 2 finishes, I haven't seen many grunts, right? I think it was like one grunt, one blade that showed up. You never know, he might go double bestiary. So I would advise always scouting here. Even though if he goes bestiary, obviously you're going rifles, so it's gonna be okay. Notice how I put this here. Like if he would have entered here, I could have walled him in with a lumber mill or farm or something. So I would recommend that just before your tier 2 finishes, this is the timing you should always scout. Try and see what the opponent's doing. I see one bestiary, but I see nothing else. So I was like, wait a second. So I double check. And then now you really wait for the MK to be there, and then you will start leveling it. And as you can see, I also didn't start it immediately either. So now I see Totem, and I'm like, okay, this is standard. He's gonna go Grunt, Raider, Walker, Shadowhunter second, and Creep it. Against which I'm gonna go rifle
Upgrade complete.
into a triple priest, then probably dispel, then you can start adding sorceresses.
Done.
9k coming. Always get boots, I would say, against this. Oh fuck, I was not in full screen, my bad. You guys should tag me in the chats, just write Todd and stuff, because then I see it, because it's like a red message if you do. When I forget the screen. Okay, now I start leveling Mountain King, I transfer Dust. Always before the big item, I would say like between half and a third hit points. That's when you use Dust, so that you don't get this shit stolen. If you use the Dust when you have a quarter hit point, it's gonna come, hit it, steal the item, and then get out anyway. It won't even matter that you revealed him.
Our forces are under attack.
I get the Crystal Ball, so I check if he expo. It's very common for Blade player to expo. And then they're usually gonna try to level their Shadow to 3 and then fight you. So now he shows up. I get the deny on this. I should be pulling back the Archmage. And I went Brilliance too. You don't necessarily have to, but it's Echo Isle. There is very limited amount of creeps. My goal is to get MK3 and then just clap him to death. So I just went Brilliance 2 instead. Because I knew there was no way I was gonna get 4 here. Yeah, he gambled hard here with the harass. But he ended up slowing down my XP a bit. Yeah, creeping MK again. I saved the Crystal Ball here, I think. Or not. Wait. Let's just use it. And I get... Oh my god! It's the double Crystal Ball. Fuck, champ. So obviously, make sure you never sell this after you've broken upkeep. If you go over 50 supply now and then you sell these, you're gonna get ripped off. Because you get taxed, just like for upkeep. So you sell this on 50 every time. After I go over 50 supply, I don't even sell most items that I get because of this. It really depends on the game, obviously, but yeah, I went clap level 2 as Shuju, and unfortunately, he engages into the double Crystal Ball. So he engaged into my balls here, the both of them. So I clapped as much as I could. This is a very important part of playing against this, is that when you fight, don't stumble too much, just clap, 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 clap. And after you're out of mana, you TP out. Then that means you will already have done the damage. Ideally, you should have killed more than you will have. So yeah, that was a very obvious TP here. And now, honestly, I wasn't sure what to do, because I see he's expanding. I kind of have a choice between expanding myself or just going to like 60, 65 supply. Even 60 supply is enough, and then doing an attack. I really wasn't sure, and I think I chose to do the attack maybe. And this is when you should get double mana pot, by the way. I really hope I didn't just get one. I only just got one. I'm fucking terrible. So I went to 57 supply. I added some breakers. I skipped the sorceresses for some reason here.
Smell magic in the air.
And I chose to expo instead. The reason why I broke upkeep is because I expect him to break upkeep early and to come fight me as well. And apparently he didn't break upkeep, but he came to fight me anyway. So he goes for my hero. This is why it's a really long game, by the way, is because he does this shit. I don't have a TP because I want to spend my gold on the expo. So I was saving gold a bit. And then he kills the Archmage. This is the kind of situation when if you lose your hero, it's 100% an instant revive here. I don't think you should ever restart hero from the altar, but I don't know. Because like we're fighting, you know, I really need my Archmage back. He might retarget it though, so it's like you should rebuy your hero, but be very careful with it. Like maybe I should buy Archmage and like bring it here so that there's still aura benefiting. Non, c'est pas Lin. C'est un joueur pas connu, je pense. So I clap again. Here's the clarity. And then you can see his army. That's what clap does. My instant revive was a bit slow because I had to send the militia from the main. And then he just lost literally everything here. And I think because of that, I think what I did was I started hero, but I was like, I'm just gonna instant revive it. I sent the units, and as it got there, I was like, I don't fucking need this. Why am I on 51 supply? Yeah, there we go. I always stay on 50 here for a while. I got Magic Sentry, so then I scout that, you know, he's barely starting to mine, so I'm gonna literally be fully saturated before he will be.
Done.
And then always get double mana pots. And now this is the time I should buy a new TP. Because he's...
Better be worth it.
If a player does that shit on your Archmage once, he's gonna do it again. You can be sure of that. This is also a good moment where, like, if you have some gauntlets, you give it to the Archmage. I think maybe even the Circlet should have gone to the Archmage. For a little bit more survivability. So now he started targeting my MK, and immediately I was like, I don't have any invuln. I don't have any potion. If I react too late, I'm gonna lose this. So what do? I bolt clap. And I TP out to my expo where there's the 2 Arcane Tower, and he can't attack anyway. Very unfortunate happening for me. So I saved, you saw that, around 700 to 800 gold. And then I break. It's because, like, I don't have to, like, bank a lot here. You know, it will be risky. There's really no reason to. I have expo running. If I break on 700 to 800, I can easily go to, like, you know, 60, 70 supply, and then I can fight again.
Job's done.
I rebuy a town portal.
Our forces are under attack.
I had sent a footman here to keep him busy. Fucking hell, this blade. Plus 17.
Flows of magic are
At least they're plus 5 claws. Honestly, I would recommend that if you already have Archmage 3 on this map with Brilliance 2, literally every camp that you creep should be only MK. Because it would be so much better to have Archmage 3 MK5 than Archmage 4 MK4, I would say. So that's why now my ultimate goal is to get clap level 3. So I need to do well enough in the fights to kill some sort of front line. And my goal will be to just kill a bunch of grunts or raiders, whatever's at the front, or land the biggest claps possible. And probably not stumble that much. But is there ever a moment to buy Pierre for Archmage? It depends, like, if you go to the shop, you want to get an invuln probably, but if there is no invuln and you have gold for Pierre, probably get it, because it's 525, that's nothing. That's like 1 hex and 2 crits, and then the Archmage dies, and then you're in deep shit. So I get dust. Everything was gone, I'm guessing. There was no scroll. Now I go. And he catches my hero again. And this time I can't transfer TP. So you see, this is my mistake here. I should have gone in a little slower and not let this happen, because now I'm gonna lose my MK with double potion. I can't go in, he's blocking me entirely. Yeah, I was probably getting quite triggered here. And then, yeah, this is so tricky because he engages into me because he knows I have no MK. A very common move here is to go and target the altar. But he opted for the option to go on my expo and catch my army. I couldn't have had something as well in center to rebuy. So now I'm trying to kite back and then he's catching some units, so I TP a little bit further out. And I buy another fucking TP, I don't know. I see him running for the main, so I know he's gonna go for the altar. I don't know, this guy played weird. He's just 100% of the time supposed to go for the altar here. So I go there and fight. Obviously, you have to attack him while he's attacking the altar. Of course, I lose it at 95%.
The flows of magic.
This is one of the most important things here. Never remake the altar here. Always make it like here or at the expo. I had a lot of peasants here, so I made it here, like behind the towers.
Job's done.
And yeah, I know he's gonna try something again. If you're standing here with your army, what he's gonna do every time is go to your main, attack you here to force you to go up, and then he's gonna try to engage into you here where there is no tower. Yeah, remake MK.
Our town is under siege.
I put that on hold position because I knew raiders couldn't attack it then. And then I have TP here just in case. Yeah, TP is safe. And now MK should be coming out. And you see it's really, really tough here. He made my life miserable because he kept bouncing up and down. And then now I know he's probably gonna go for the expo. He moved back, so I start moving down just in case he does. But he can also catch my army, that's the problem. So now he's here. I keep the Archmage far away, you see. If the Archmage was here, he would have targeted it immediately. Now he's trying to fight because he knows my MK is not there for a while. He's just trying to eliminate my army. Finally the MK comes out, clarity immediately. And now the fun can begin. And again, my goal is to get level 5.
Locked and loaded. Our forces are under attack. I smell.
You see, I stay on 3 priests. You don't need more than 3. Never make more than 3 priests here. 2 sorceresses is enough. You can maybe go for 3 as well. But don't make more than 3. And then mix in breakers to steal Spirit Link.
Mine is running low.
And a lot of rifles. They're your main source of damage here. It's gonna be for the clap and rifles to do the job. Once you have 80, there is big incentive to attack. Like what you would be scared of here in the end game is like if he goes into torrents or like Walker's Master. So now I scan and I see that he has tier 3, so I'm like immediately, okay, I know he's gonna go Walker Master, and then if he gets torrent, he can revive them. It's gonna be very hard for you. My goal is still the same, just engage, clap, 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 and when I have no more mana or if I'm about to lose a lot of units, I TP, regen scroll clarity, and then we rinse and repeats. His army is sustainable, like he can keep everything alive very well, but it doesn't do enough damage to my army, supposedly, for me to lose, especially if I land big claps, because then everything will be slowed, like the attack speed, you know? So finally I get a fucking scroll, god damn.
The flows of magic.
And then now I was like a little bit paranoid. I was like, fuck, he trapped me here last time. So I go slowly. MK not too far at the front. I mean, obviously I have the invuln. And unfortunately for him, he kind of surrounds the MK. Always put a priest. Like here I press, like my groups. I will show you my groups. If I can. Okay, this is group number 2. So I have my casters plus 2 of the breakers. That group will only ever be on attack move. Here, you don't need to target anything. It's just attack move and then you clap. You focus only on the Mountain King and clap. You don't need to target anything special. If you try to take the rifles and click that grunt and he pulls it back, your rifles are going to run inside of the army. That's a mistake you kept on making in the previous replay of you that I watched. You don't need anything fancy. Attack move and then focus on clap. That's it. Nothing else. If he moves his walkers here close, then I will take my rifles and I will manually attack, but that's it. For everything else, you just focus on the claps here. And yeah, I was gonna say, I press 2 here, and when you press 2, it's always gonna have the sorceresses here first. But if you do tab 1 time, it's gonna have the priest. So I press 2, tab, and then once I have the priest, I press E for heal, and then I click on the MK so that I have a priest all the time healing him. This is very important. I need this guy to stay there as long as possible. See, this guy, he's healing the MK as much as possible. Don't have your MK in the middle of everything alone. This is like the really, really hard part. Followville, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna give you a timeout for 9 days. Yeah, you don't want the MK, that's a mistake I made a lot in the past. You don't want the MK to be alone here in the middle of everything. You want to have some breakers and some of your army around him so that the surface area is kind of reduced. Then you just clap away. Drop the circlet if you can. Mana pot, then pick it up. I bolted the blade not to target him, but to prevent him from attacking for a little bit. There is no point going Water Elemental level 2 here because he has a bunch of Dispel anyway, so you would just be feeding XP. So I went Blizzard 1 instead, even though I got these items. I might sell them eventually. I'm very close, and then finally I get 5. And of course he target like he has every time before. I kill some last few units and then TP out. Look at the value of that regen scroll. And then you double clarity on the MK. You let the priests do their job, you heal for a while, and then you go again. Look at my supply. I barely lost anything here, even though I guess I'm remaking some units. I lost a lot less than him. He has 57. He's fucked. And that was a perfect timing in terms of going before he was gonna add a lot of torrents. But yeah, obviously, like, this is not the best player in the world. Like, he didn't have the best upgrades. He had only 1-1. His micro kind of sucked, and he also surrounded my MK at the front, which was a big mistake. So now, what I did was I heal, clarity, and then I ran to the shop immediately to try and get the items. So I think I'm camping for a scroll and invuln here. I brought the peasants that I had from the gold here because they have no purpose. I have enough woods with those 2 guys probably. So I'm gonna bring those guys now in attack. It's a bit risky not to have anything on the Archmage, but that's why you need to mine him. You need to be very mindful of your Archmage. So keep it in the center, move it back immediately if he gets targeted. So now I bolt this guy because he was in the center of everything. And then now we're gonna go for the claps again. And you see I invis that bought me some time on the MK because again he has no invuln. Yeah, the clap AoE here is just insane. I move back the MK. You see I really babysit individually. And during these fights, there was never any individual targeting. I never took my group 1 and then clicked one of the units. I'm just on attack move so that they attack whatever's closer without blocking each other. I could probably click on the raiders and then it'd be okay, or like this guy, you see that's too close, but I'm too busy babysitting the most important part of my army, which is this Mountain King and Archmage. So yeah, unfortunately he gets the MK, but he's already kind of lost everything. So yeah, I'm playing StarCraft now. Luckily I had the goal to restart my first hero, and that put me on 50 actually, so I was like, alright, fuck it. Mining extra. Still, I'm gonna get Archmage as soon as I can. So the Raiders die very fast. Remember that the Raider is the unit of Orc that dies the quickest every time.
The flows of magic are whimsical.
So yeah, remaking hero. And then he's kind of desperate here, so he just dives, which was a big mistake, I think. Trying to get my fucking... He has plus 17, goddamn, with the orb. See, drop the circlet every time, and then that's pretty much it. I'm always on attack move. Then you're doing it right. I think single target fire is too overrated in those fights. I mean, if you're Chemico, I guess you could probably like be fancy and do it, sound like the Raiders, but the priority is not to single target the Raiders or the Grunts or whatever. It's to babysit your Mountain King, make sure he doesn't get sniped. Same for the Archmage. And focus on getting the biggest claps possible without over exposing your Mountain King, I think.